Okay, now that we've understood what the contact force is, let us apply the concept to some problems. Okay, so in this problem what we have is a block, a 10 kg block sitting on top of a surface, and everything is at rest. And we're asking what is the force exerted on the block by the surface. So once again, we always will start these problems by drawing a free body diagram. So let's start with that. Let's draw a free body diagram. And what I would like you to do actually at this point is just pause the video, draw an unnecessary diagram that you think, and then come back to the video and see if you have the correct stuff. Okay. All right. So I'm going to assume that you already did. You paused, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to draw my forces. Okay. So the first force we know is the weight of the object, which is equal to mg, which is 10 times 9.8. So this force is what is pulling it down. Now the table or the surface exerts a force on the object. Okay, that force is in the upward direction. We will call that force F sub n for the force of contact. Now, if you look at the situation, because the object is at rest, okay, right away we know that the acceleration is 0, and therefore we also know that the two forces need to cancel each other out. So what we know in this problem is that Fn minus 98 is equal to 0, and therefore Fn is equal to 98 newtons. Okay, so let's make sure that we understand what's going on. So we have an object sitting on the surface, and we're asking what is the force exerted on the block by the surface. So the way we're going to do this, we'll draw our free body diagram. And if you look at the free body diagram, we have 98 newtons pulling it down. We have the table pushing the object up. And since nothing is accelerating, we know that the total force is 0, and therefore we know that Fn has to be equal to 98 newtons. Okay. Now, if the question was what is the force exerted on the surface by the block, okay, the answer to that also would have been 98 newtons. It'll just be pointing downward. Okay, so make sure you understand that also, because if I ask you what is the force exerted on the surface by the block, I don't want you getting confused. Just find the force that the surface exerts first on the block, and then the force that the block exerts on the surface is going to be an equal and opposite amount of force. Okay, so it'll be the same value but in the opposite direction. Alright, so that's the end of this simple problem.